Hello my dear students, you are welcome to the presentation on the topic Assessment of Cooperative Societies. I am Dr. Panduranga Nayak, Principal, SCS College, Bantwal. The topic of presentation of today is Assessment of Cooperative Societies. What do you mean by cooperative society? Cooperative society means a society registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 or under any other law for the time being in force in any state for the registration of cooperative societies. So thus, either it should be registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912 or under any other law for the time being in force in any state for the registration of cooperative societies. A regional rural bank to which provisions of Regional Rural Banks Act 1976 apply is deemed as cooperative society as per circular number 319 dated 11th January 1982. So thus a regional rural bank also is being included under the terminology cooperative society. Now there are several deductions under section 80 for various types of assessees. And one of the important deduction which is applicable only to cooperative societies is ATP. So this is an important component in this particular topic. Therefore, let us see what is ATP and what items are deductible under ATP as far as the assessment of cooperative societies is concerned. A cooperative society can claim deduction under this section. However, deduction under section ATP is not available to a cooperative bank. Remember, cooperative bank, state or central cooperative bank, primary cooperative bank or regional rural bank. So for all these organizations, cooperative societies, cooperative banks rather, deduction is not available under ATP. The deduction is allowed in the following manner. Say in the case of banking business, supposing a cooperative society runs banking business or does banking business, then deduction is available. Cooperative society engaged in the business of banking. Banking is nothing but lending and investment, accepting the deposits and lending and investment. Banking and providing credit facilities can claim deduction on its income from banking business as well as from providing credit facilities to its members. So if a cooperative society is advancing loans to the members, then it is entitled for deduction under ATP. Cottage industry. A cooperative society engaged in cottage industry can claim deduction on the whole of the profits from cottage business. Now what are the criteria to be satisfied in order to avail this deduction under ATP? Cottage industry is carried on in a small scale, not on a large scale, small scale, with a small amount of capital and a small number of workers. So if you carry out the business on a large scale and with a good number of employees, then it is not called cottage industry. So here deduction is not available in that case. It should not be required to be registered under the Factories Act. So it is not necessary to be registered under Factories Act. Should be owned and managed by the cooperative society. Its activities must be carried on by the members of the society and their families. Should not engage outside hired labor. Of course, subject to certain exceptions. The place of work is the member artisan's residence or a common workplace provided by the society. So it must carry on the activity of manufacture, production, processing. It should not be engaged in mere trade, buying and selling. So it should not be involved in just trade, buying and selling. So manufacturing activity must be involved like manufacture, production or processing. So if these conditions are fulfilled, yes, deduction can be availed under ATP as far as cottage business is concerned. Next, marketing of agriculture produce. The whole amount of profits attributable to the marketing of agriculture produce grown by the members of society is deductible. So, agriculture produce must be grown by the members of the society, and the whole amount of profits attributable to marketing of agriculture produce is deductible under 80P. Next, purchase of agriculture implements. The whole income from the purchase of agriculture implements, seeds, livestock means animals, or other articles such as cattle feed, fertilizers, etc., intended for agricultural purposes and supplying them to the members is deductible. So, purchase of agriculture implements, seeds, livestock, or other articles such as cattle feed, fertilizers, etc., and when you purchase, the intention is for agriculture purposes and supplying them to the members. Then, processing of agricultural produce. Income from the processing, that is without power. If it is with power, deduction is not available. Of agriculture produce of its members is fully deductible. Then, collective disposal of labor. Income from activity of collective disposal of labor of its members is deductible. Okay, if the members of the society, their services are being outsourced and thereby you are earning the income, then of course the deduction is available at 80P. Fishing and allied activities. The whole amount of profits of a cooperative society engaged in fishing and allied activities are deductible. Allied activities include catching, curing, processing, preserving, storing, or marketing of fish, and includes purchase and sale of fishing instruments. So, profits arising from fishing activities and related activities, that is deductible under 80P. Then, primary society engaged in supply of milk, oilseeds, fruits, etc. Entire profits and gains of primary society engaged in the supply of milk, oilseeds, fruits or vegetables grown or raised by its members is deductible, provided these items are supplied to a federal cooperative society engaged in similar business, or to the government, or to local authority, or to a government company, or a statutory corporation. Statutory corporation is one which is created under the special act of the parliament, that is called statutory corporation. Government company is a company where majority of the shares are held by either central government or state government or combination of both central and state governments. Local authority means like municipality, municipal corporation, etc. Government, maybe central government, state government, etc. Okay, next, income from other activities. If a cooperative society engaged in any other activity independently or along with the activity specified above in A to H until this, a deduction of 1 lakh in the case of consumer cooperative society and 50,000 in any other case is allowed. So, if it is involved or engaged in other activities along with the activities mentioned from A to I, then in the case of consumer cooperative society, deduction is available to the tune of 1 lakh, and in other cases 50,000. Then interest and dividend. The whole of the interest and dividend income derived from a cooperative society from its investment in any other cooperative societies, cooperative banks is deductible. So not elsewhere, should have been invested in cooperative societies or cooperative banks. And any interest earned or dividend received, that is deductible under 80C. 80P rather. Interest on securities or property income. Whole of the income from interest on securities and property income of cooperative society other than housing society, urban consumer society, society carrying on transport business or engaged in manufacturing with the aid of power is deductible provided its gross total income does not exceed rupees 20,000. So if it does not exceed 20,000 gross total income, interest on securities or property income is deductible. Letting of godowns. the whole of the income derived by a cooperative society from the letting of godowns or warehouses for storage, processing, or facilitating the marketing of agriculture commodities is deductible. If it is for any other purpose, deduction is not allowed. So this is about ATP. So under these circumstances or in these cases, a deduction is available as a deduction is available under ATP from the income of a cooperative society. Okay, now how to compute the income of the cooperative society and calculating the tax liability? First, you have to calculate the income under different heads of income, like income from house property, business income, then capital gains, then income from other sources. So under these heads, you have to compute the income, applying rules relevant to individual heads. Then you have to find out the possibility of clubbing of income. So sometimes the income of other people should be clubbed with the income of the SSE. So that possibility should be found out. Then apply the provisions of set off and carry forward and set off of all losses. Loss from one head can be set off against income from other head. Similarly, if it is not possible to set off the income this year for not availability of income, then it could be carried forward and then set off from the same head of income. There are certain set off rules of set off and carry forward and set off. So that possibility should be explored. Next, what you get from the total of all the above heads of income, that is nothing but gross total income. And then from that you have to deduct deductions under section 80. I already told you elsewhere, under section 80, so many deductions are there, but all the deductions are not equally applicable to all types of SSEs. Now in the case of cooperative society, certain deductions are applicable. Now let us see what are they. One is 80G, double GA, double GC, and then IA, IAB, IB, IC, ID, IE, double JA, and ATP. All these deductions you are going to study under the chapter General Deductions under 80, section 80. You are going to study those things in detail. Anyway, the more pertinent deduction which is mostly applicable to cooperative societies, that is ATP, which you already learned. After deduction of this, the total deduction cannot exceed the gross total income, and the resulting value is taxable income or total income. Then you have to apply the tax rates in order to compute the tax, total tax. Up to first 20,000, okay, rate is 10%. I'm sorry, here it should be 10,000, not 20,000. First 10,000, so 10%. Then next 10,000 to 20,000, 20%. Over and about 20,000 is taxable at the rate of 30%. I repeat, here it should be 10,000, not 20,000. Then surcharge should be added at the rate of 12% of income tax if the total income exceeds 1 crore. It is again subject to marginal relief. Marginal relief means least of tax on total income, or tax on total income of 1 crore plus total income above 1 crore. Of that, which one is least, and that is to be taken as marginal relief. Okay. Then apply health and education cess at the rate of 4% on the total income. Then there is one more concept, alternative minimum tax. Alternate minimum tax. In the case of companies, there is minimum alternate tax. But in the case of cooperative societies, the tax applicable is called alternate minimum tax. That means minimum tax has to be paid by any cooperative society, and that is under section 115 JC. Tax payable by a non-corporate SSE cannot be less than 18.5% of adjusted total income as per section 115 JC. What is adjusted total income? Adjusted total income is total income as increased by amount claimed as deduction under section 80H to 80 RRB except ATP. Then amount claimed as deduction under section 10 subsection EE. Then deduction claimed under section 35A, 35AD as reduced by depreciation. So thus you have to find out the tax on total income or 18.5% of adjusted total income, which you call that alternate minimum tax. Whichever is high, that should be taken, and that is the tax payable. Okay, yes. So by this you have understood assessment of cooperative societies and deduction under section 80P and the computation of total income and calculation of tax liability. Here up to rupees 10,000, not 20,000. So 10,000, 10% of 10,000. Okay. So thank you.